If you're not itemizing your taxes, these are going to be the top 10 tax deductions and credits that you can file this year. So we're going to focus on the standard deduction. If you're an individual, that's $13,850 or $27,700 for a married couple filing jointly. If you qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit, I'll put a link in the description below. The Earned Income Tax Credit is up to $7,430, which is refundable. So number 3 is the Child Tax Credit. This is up to $2,000 per child. So if you have 2 kids, that's $4,000 that could be deducted. Now this $2,000 is non-refundable, but of the $2,000, there's something called the Additional Child Tax Credit. So this is combined with this. So up to $1,600 per child is actually refundable. So if you don't owe taxes, you can actually still get money back just because of this. Number 4 is the Child and Dependent Care Credit. This is effectively if you have your kid in daycare, they're under the age of 13, and you need to pay for them to go somewhere maybe during summer or something like that. So it's $3,000 per kid. If you have 2 or more kids, you can get up to $6,000. If you save for the future, if you put it into a traditional account, either in a 401k, a 403b, an IRA, or anything along those lines, the 401k and the 403b have limits of $22,500, and IRAs can actually be $6,500, and you can actually contribute to a non-working spouse to theirs as well. So if you're married filing jointly, that brings that up to $13,000. Number 6, depending on your income limit, middle class incomes and below can also qualify for a Savers Credit. This is up to $2,000 per individual. If you're married filing jointly, that's up to a $4,000 additional tax credit just because you save. So you can get a deductions for saving, and you get an additional credit depending on income limits. Number 7, if you have any student loans and you start paying some of that interest back, you can actually deduct that off your taxes up to $2,500 per year. There's also something, if you're still in school, the American Opportunity Credit. You can deduct up to $2,500. So there's something very similar. There's the Lifetime Learning Credit. This is 20% up to the first $10,000, so it's worth $2,000. Now, you don't actually have to be the one that's going to school, so if you had a spouse or somebody that's filing jointly with you, effectively you can also take the credit on their behalf. Or if you have a student that is a dependent of yours in school, you can also use some of these credits. Number 10, if you buy an electric vehicle or a plug-in electric hybrid, you can get up to $7,500 of tax credit. Plug-in electric hybrids are usually more like $3,750. And if you buy a used electric vehicle, you can get about $4,000 off that, and there's some limits on that as well. And something very similar would be the Residential Clean Energy Credit. This is effectively 30% of your total install cost. If you put like solar or heat pumps, I put a bunch of insulation in my house, so I was able to take that credit as well. If you're interested in saving more money like you are here, making more money, or investing, subscribe. I'll help you out as best I can.